All right, we are alive. Let us know if you can hear me and Zach. It is a little bit
Hello.
makeshifty today. We had some technical difficulties. Zach's camera is not working for some reason, and we were just about to go live, and we were trying to figure that out for the last, literally, I guess, 40 minutes. And so we've been trying to do it, make sure to
Yeah.
try to give you guys the best
Sorry,
stream
guys.
possible. But that's all right. We are here. And once again, let us know if you can hear us and hear Zach. Say something.
Yes. Hi, guys. Sorry that we are so late. This is very frustrating, but we're trying to make the best of it. So hopefully it sounds okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, they can hear. They can hear both. Okay. Awesome. Normally we'll go through. Since we are late, we normally go through news, et cetera, et cetera. But if there's any questions or whatever the case may be, obviously you guys know, go to the Flock Fantasy website. We're gonna go straight into questions since we are a little bit late here. But we appreciate you, and I forgot to go live on
Yeah,
this side.
I'll give you like the quickest rundown. Okay, Brees Hall's
Mm-hmm.
going to play. DeAndre Swift's going to play. Um, Mike Evans is going to play. We don't know about Lad McConkey yet. Kenneth Walker's doubtful. He's probably not going to play. Trey McBride is going to play. George Pickens is ruled out. Tony Pollard, there's reports that he's good to go. We'll see. David Njoku hopes to play after that hamstring injury. Outside of that, I think we're good. So let's go.
Okay. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you drop a like, and we should see. Okay, Slime Cheddar is the first one here. Appreciate you guys. He says, whoever I sit probably will go nuclear. Please choose for me. Okay. So you're starting Jaden Daniels, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, and at the wide receiver position. Let me make this just maybe a little bit smaller. At the wide receiver position, I'm still going to be going AJ Brown. I'm going to be going Malik Neighbors. Let me know if you have any disagreement.
Are we
And then,
live on the Flock site, by the way?
yeah, we are.
Okay, because when I went to the live button, it asked me to enter a link, but if
On
you've
my
entered the
end,
link
yeah, I
already,
don't know
yeah.
if you look at the live stream in the top right, it says on air. So,
Okay, okay,
um,
cool.
and then at the flex position, I'm personally still going to be going Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. What are the options? Remind me. Marvin Harrison.
Tyrone, Rico, Jacoby
Okay.
Myers.
Look, I'm not anti Marvin Harrison. I just think with your playoff hopes on the line, he's been real boom bust. So I might lean a Tyrone Tracy for safety. Tyrone had 10 targets last week. I know they faced Baltimore. Um, and then you've got Jacoby Myers in a great matchup versus who does he play? Remind me. He plays
Um,
man.
Hold on, let me. This is
He
all
plays the
out of
Atlanta
whack.
Falcons, which is a great matchup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love Marvin Harrison, but I think Tyrone Tracy's proven he has a much safer floor, so I'm going to go Tyrone Tracy there myself.
Okay. He's going to try Tyrone Tracy, which we'll put that into consideration. All right, we appreciate you. We're gonna go to the next question here. Stinky Nerd. He said, "Who to start? Two out of the three guys: Zach, Charbonnet, London, Evans." So you're starting Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon at the wide receiver. You are already starting Jamar Chase. I personally would be going Drake London here
Yeah, I
over
mean it's
over Mike
close. I've
Evans.
I've I've got them in a very similar tier. I do lean Mike Evans. I think if you beat this team, you want to throw on them. The Chargers, it's
Okay.
really tough to run against them, and the way to beat them is through the air. So that's where I would lean. But I want to start both of these guys.
Yeah, he has Jamar
But man, the
Chase.
flex, the flex. I think we're both going to put Charbonnet there still, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, exactly. Zach Charbonnet is a must start, especially if Kenneth Walker's
yeah.
not playing. So
So again, I lean London or I lean Evans, but I don't think you can make the wrong call there.
yeah, Eileen London, but however you want to go there, Stinky Nerd, that's how you can go there. Appreciate you guys. We see you on YouTube as well. We're gonna get to the YouTube questions once we are done with all the questions on the Flock Fantasy website. But that's where we would go first. The Diddler. He says, "Who's my RB2 in flex? I'm leading Hall and
Someone
Neighbors."
someone consciously made that username, by the way, and
Yeah,
I love it.
I know.
I'm not gonna say I love it, but it's funny. Anyway,
Um, Quarterback Jalen Hurts, running back Zach Charbonnet at the running back position. If Brees Hall plays, you start Brees Hall. He has one of the best matchups this week going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he is confirmed playing. So that's where I'm going to be going. Are you on
I
the same
agree.
page?
I agree. I get the hesitation from some people, but I'm still gonna go Brees.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing against Brees, and I don't want that at all.
Hmm.
Jerry Judy, Puka Nakua, who you already started. I personally will start Malik Neighbors over Jerry Judy. You let me know.
Well,
What else?
Tillman's out, so I would go Jerry
Okay,
again.
we'll see
That gives
how.
me a big boost of confidence in Jerry without Tillman again. What's going on with Tillman? That's weird, but yeah, let's see how the flex pans out.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. At the flex position, a lot of great options here: Tyrone, Adam Thielen, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors. Once again, I'm still personally going Malik Neighbors in that flex option, and then starting Jerry Judy. So I'm not sure what you would, how you would
Yeah, I
see it.
love Neighbors. I think I'm gonna lean Adam Thielen versus the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, my issue with Neighbors is just quarterback play and overall offense ability to move the ball. I feel like Tyrone's safer with that floor if you wanted to go that way. Considering he and Malik might get the same amount of targets, but it is a great matchup for Malik. I'm just not sure. Like, I think he's a fine play, but I think you have better options. So again, it'd be Jerry at wide receiver 2 and Adam Thielen at wide receiver or at the flex for me. And I'm not sure that Tyrone isn't the better floor, but it is very close.
Yeah, it just really depends on what you want, what you believe in. High floor, high ceiling or safe floor, however you want to go. I will start Malik Neighbors and Jerry Judy. Zach will go Jerry Judy and Adam Thielen, which is what we're going to be inputting. Sam I am says playoffs, baby. Thanks, guys. Who do I start if Lad is out? Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for the support this year. Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson, Tyrone, Terry, Ceedee, George Kittle. And you didn't start Debo, which is great. Look, if Lad McConkey plays, I want to start Lad McConkey. If he doesn't play, I'm going to go Darnell Mooney. Okay, so keep that in mind.
That's the easiest question of the day so far. I love that. So I mean, we like to help the ones where you have like 10 startable options in one spot to put them in. But this one, I feel a lot of confidence in answering with you. Yeah, Lad, and then Mooney is the easy fix there if he's not available.
Yeah, completely agreed. I don't even know how to say this.
El Puma.
Puma. Yeah. Zach, please with the Flock League. None wants to see Mason win. Pour one out for Badaki. Honestly, look.
It is funny, Badaki, because like I have slowly grown to love Mason's character in that league. Yeah, I think his character aligns strongly with like Australian sarcasm, so I think that's why I'm starting to like it. But yeah, obviously I would win.
Yeah, I said this on the last video. I'm not sure if it was in or it got cut out, but I said it's either going to be Zach or no one. It's either Zach or Dev, essentially. I don't want any other creators to win.
Joe. It's either me or Joe. That's what I'm rooting for. Although Thomas is a star, man. Yeah, he killed that last video.
Thomas could also. I'm happy once again. Zach or any other Dev, no other creator. Anyways, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels. This is 2 quarterback, 12 team start 11 at the running back position here. Not too much to offer, unfortunately.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's starting Cecil McCormick here.
Raheem Mostert is out. No, I don't think that matters, actually. I think I'm going to go Jeremy McNichols. They face the Saints.
Yeah, and a terrible rush defense there.
If he gets 10 carries, he might pan out. Honestly, all these guys probably bust, but he has the best matchup.
Yeah, I don't want to start anyone else either, so that's tough. Nico, DK, Cortland, George Kittle, Calvin, Zaza at the flex here, and then a couple big names. I think this one is easy for me. I would go Jaden Reed. I'm not sure where you would go.
I don't think we need to waste time. I think Jaden Reed is your best option. Clearly, coming off a goose egg, it's not fun, but I mean, you're not going to start Noah Fant. I guess you could consider Tucker Kraft, but I'm still going to go Jaden Reed there with you. I agree.
Okay, awesome. Bamberg Steve, Josh Allen, Chuba, Saquon, DK, Lad, Jaden Daniels, Trey McBride, and he's considering. Okay, this is Zach Charbonnet, no question, in the flex. Over Jonathan Taylor, over Rico for us. We wouldn't start anyone else. Let's just triple check if there's any other wide receivers. No, that's everything. Any other tight ends?
100% with you, brother.
Yeah.
I think that one's a real easy answer, and yeah, I have Jonathan Taylor, so I wish I had a name like Zach Charbonnet this week.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's Snubs. He says thoughts on Waddle, Tracy, or Addison in the last flex. Okay, Jared Goff or Justin Herbert. I think we spoke about this. I will go Justin Herbert. I think you said you would go Jared Goff early in the week just because you want to be part of that matchup.
Yeah, highest over under of the year. Bills, Lions. I'm gonna go Goff, and Justin Herbert's a fine option as well. You can throw against Tampa Bay. I think Goff is a safer floor, and I like the ceiling of this matchup.
Yeah.
So
Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, which you already started, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta with Garrett Wilson there at the other flex. And then Jalen Waddle, Jordan Addison, or Tyrone. I think it really just depends on what you need. If I'm not mistaken, Jordan Addison has been going off the past couple weeks. Has been looking like he's been real consistent playing the Bears, which it is a tough secondary. Last time he played the Bears, he had over 30 points. Where are you going here?
Tyrone, just safe floor, high upside. I think Addison and Waddle lean in that category of yes, they have upside, but they also have tremendous ability to bust. I don't think Tyrone does that. I think at minimum he gives you 10 points, if not like a 15, with the amount of targets he's seeing right now. So terrible matchup, but I just trust his floor over those other names. So those other guys, I mean, we know they could have 3 points any game.
Yeah.
It's just too scary for me.
Yeah, and the matchups are interesting because of Waddle. Playing the Texans, that should be a high scoring game. At least we hope it to be. And then same thing with Jordan Addison against the Bears. Maybe not a high scoring game, but we weren't expecting that the first time they played, and they were going back and forth. So keep that in mind there. All right, next question here is from CCXR23. Appreciate you. Sam Darnold. Okay. Devon Achane at the running back position. Sincere McCormick or Ramondre Stevenson. For me, this is Ramondre. Not sure where you have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really don't have a strong opinion on that. It's sad with Ramondre, but at Arizona, Sincere's versus Atlanta. If this was a week beyond now, where Sincere faces Jacksonville, might be a different answer. But no, this week I think you're right. I think Stevenson is the answer.
I agree. You're starting AJ Brown at the wide receiver position. I mean, out of all these guys, the guy that I feel the most comfortable with is Jackson Smith and Jigba. If you're looking for safe floor and a high ceiling, that's personally in my eyes.
I have a feeling we don't need to discuss because of the flex spots, but let's just put JSN in there.
Yeah. I guess you're gonna have to start Dalton Kincaid, which is not ideal.
And then in the flex, I think it's gonna be Ladd and Garrett Wilson for me.
Yeah. Okay. So we're on the same page there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I might have Ladd ahead of Jason, but at the end of the day, I saw the flex. I didn't think it would matter. So
yeah. Okay, that's awesome. BB Fantasy, he said, worth it to wait for Ladd who plays at 4 p.m. or just start BTJ who plays at 1. Palmer is on waiver. I personally would be waiting. How do you feel? I personally would wait since you do have Josh Palmer. I know Josh Palmer is not exciting guy to start, but this is a favorable matchup against the Bucs secondary. I would rather take a chance.
I think he could end up being a real sneaky, incredible play this week if Ladd is out anyway.
Exactly. So I'm okay.
I'm 100% with you there. I mean, if you watched the game last week where Ladd was not available, Palmer was getting work, and he was butt-ass naked open on like a 60-yard touchdown. And, out of character, Justin Herbert doesn't hit him. So I think he has a great chance if Ladd's not out there to go out and ball out. I mean, he had 78 yards on 9 targets last week. He could have had like a 24-point game easily, if not more. So I think he's a real fine play this week if Ladd's out. So I'm with you there.
I agree. 13.8 fantasy points last week, so I'm okay to go that route if need be. So that's what we would do. Start Ladd McConkey. If not, you start Josh Palmer, because BTJ, you just don't know what that's going to look like, especially with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, they're probably going to be down, and the Jet secondary has been a little bit shaky all season, but that's not something that I just want to be a part of, regardless. There.
Yeah, it's interesting because um in theory it should be a decent game for Brian, but you are relying on Mac Jones, and this team scored 10 points last week. I think their implied team point total is like the second or third lowest at 19.
Mm.
So even Vegas is projecting them to pretty much double their point outage last week, which I don't know if that happens for sure.
It's
So
crazy that he's still like a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy. Once
dude,
again,
he's like that dude. Brian Thomas is that dude.
I think once again it just shows you and tells you how big of a down year the wide receivers are having, because I'm not saying he's not that dude, but like there's a lot of gaps in these weeks where it's like, damn, how's this guy a top 10 wide receiver?
Well, this is pretty much the Devonta Smith top 10 year,
Sure.
where you have big blow up games and there's plenty of busts. That's kind of what Brian Thomas has been this year from a fantasy perspective. Yeah, right when AJ Brown joined.
Yeah, I definitely remember that year. All right, but we appreciate you there, BB Fantasy. I think that might be it. I think I had to refresh.
No, I think you're right. That's it on the Flock site, so we can come over to YouTube now.
Okay, we can go over to YouTube.
Again, guys, friendly reminder, if you do want to prioritize your questions, you can do that through the Flock Fantasy website. There's no obligation to do so, but anytime we have questions there, those are the first questions that we'll answer. I'll paste that link in the chat for you. You can submit a question at any time. And it's also in the pinned comment, but we will come over to YouTube here now.
Yeah, that's one thing.
And by the way, I just want to give a big shout out to JAR. He was the most recent comment. He says, I started Cup and Kyron, and in our home one quarterback league, I'm with you, dude. I had the same combo on Thursday Night Football. I started Cup and Kyron, and it feels disgusting. It feels so gross to have to wait the entire weekend and see that small amount of pointage on your team when you are in the playoffs. So I feel you, dude. Honestly, the weather really screwed us over big time. I'm surprised both teams struggled so heavily on offense. But anyway, let's get to these super chats.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say the first username for us.
Yeah, give me a second. I really want to get this chat thing here. It's definitely not working for me. But
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. This has been by the way, guys, if you're just joining us or have been here midway through and you're probably saying, what the hell is going on? Why is Zach like this small ass screen? It looks a little bit weird. It's just because he has some technical difficulties earlier today. Normally Zach hosts a stream and it just wasn't working today.
Yeah. So you go to the live stream, right? And then you pop out the chat. That's what you're doing?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But it's not working on the Streamlabs. He's just ahead. Which is actually so true. He is just ahead. Anyways, I think we might have to go without it there. Ooh, look at that. That's a throwback. Did you see that on the screen?
Yeah, I did see that. Well, did it work last time when you were live without me?
Yeah, it did. But once again, I think adding. Let me just try something really fast.
Are you sure you don't have me above it or something?
Nah, I don't.
All right.
Maybe we can.
Wabadock is figuring that out. I'm just gonna find a way here to give you guys.
I think I found
like if you're out there and. Okay.
I figured it out.
If you're out there and you need like some last minute flex options, I just want to go through a quick list of names that I think are like your last minute flex options. For example, like your Jaylen Warrens could be last minute flex options. Let me pull up my rankings here. Sincere McCormick, like we talked about before. I don't think Rachaad White's a terrible start if you have him out there. At wide receiver, names like Jalen Waddle's a pretty good start this week, considering the matchup versus Houston. I trust him over a lot of other names this week. With Cedric Tillman out, I think both Elijah Moore and Jerry Jeudy become really good starts again. So that's another one to consider there. But anyway, let's get to these super chats if you have them up. Go ahead, say that username loud and proud for us.
You want me to say that username? This is all balls. That's all I'm saying. Family friendly stream.
Loud and proud, brother.
Higgins and Hall if he plays in flex, or if he plays in my flex standard. Well, Hall is playing. If this is a standard league.
Yeah, wow, standards, no PPR.
No PPR. I'm going to go Breece Hall here. I think if he's healthy and he's playing, it's a good matchup. I think Higgins could easily outscore Hall if this is going to be a high-scoring game. But I just don't believe that. I really don't believe this is going to be a high-scoring game at the Bengals. I think they should really dominate this game. This should be a Chase Brown game, in my opinion. He probably does get a touchdown, but I don't think he will be I don't think we'll go crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you there. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I could see this going either way. I think whoever gets a touchdown is probably the favorite, and I think Hall in that matchup should have a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Shane's next. He says, "Who's your Heisman vote, and why is it Ginty?" Yeah. You know what? Funnily enough, I think we had a convo about this on a previous stream, and I think my answer was just I think when I go to this question, I always ask myself, if you take both of the players off their teams, how many wins does it account for? You know, like what's the replacement? And I don't see Boise State winning more than like 3 games without Ashton Ginty. He is their entire offense, and every week the defense knows this. And this is no disrespect to Travis Hunter, because he's just as deserving, but what he's doing is historic. But I think if you take him off the team, I think they probably have like 2 more losses. The Big 12 is, not that it's worse than the Mountain West, but I just think, like, again, replacement value argument, I feel like Ginty, yeah, he would be my answer. So
yeah. Oh, and my camera is now messing up. No, I definitely understand how that works. I think it's going to be Travis Hunter, just because he can play both sides of the ball, and I think that's what people are going to be frothing over. They're going to be like, "Oh my gosh,
yeah,
like he plays both offense and defense," and they're going to be, it's just going to be a classic thing.
It's very impressive. He's just as deserving. I was doing some research, obviously, for our Dynasty channel. Okay, so Ted McMillan averaged, I think, about 60 snaps a game. Luther Burden was at like 45 out of the slot. Just take a guess. How many snaps do you think Travis Hunter played per game?
Per like the whole game?
Per game. How many snaps? Again, Tet was at 60. Luther Burden's at 45.
I would have to say more than 60. I don't know, maybe
like 80? Yeah, but I'm asking you guessing.
I don't know, like
80 is your number.
Yeah.
That number on its own would be crazy.
Yeah.
So he was at 118 snaps per game. 118 snaps per game. Now, the issue with making him the Heisman is I don't think he was the best receiver this year.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I don't think he was the best cornerback this year. So I think that is the issue making him the Heisman, is I don't think he was the best at either of those positions. But overall, he's probably the best player. But I think Ginty had the best season. So that's my answer.
Okay.
Do you have some questions on the site, by the way?
Yeah, we do have questions on the site. We appreciate you. We're going to transition back to the site. I don't get that little thing here. Anyways, let me just... This is all very interesting how none of this is working today for either of us.
We've had, today's technology. We should hire someone, like we're definitely a whiles away from hiring anyone for IT, but if anyone out there is IT, you could have a job in the future, because this is frustrating.
Okay, we're going to go to the next question here. Back onto the website. We appreciate you. Doghouse, he says, first round of the playoffs, need to win. Thank you guys for always coming through. Let's win these leagues. Hey, we appreciate you, man, and good luck. And good luck to everyone else as well, by the way, that are in the fantasy playoffs this week. Lamar Jackson, Rico, Josh Jacobs, Cortland Sutton at the wide receiver position, Josh Downs, Jaden Reed, Amari Cooper. Oh boy. Honestly, it's crazy to say, like, Jaden Reed, does he really bring that high upside? I guess technically he does, but I feel like what Amari Cooper did last week is it just a one-off, or is it not one-off because now he's playing the Lions this week?
Well, Keon Coleman is playing.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me lean.
And Dalton Kincaid is also playing, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that makes me lean towards Shaden Reed there
Yeah,
with Keon coming back because it makes things more confusing.
which I completely agree. I think a lot of people are struggling with that because of what Amari Cooper did last week. At the flex position, ooh, I think this is where I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson, and I'm going to go Amari Cooper. That's where I would go. You let me know where you would go.
No, I think you're right. I mean, they're not like, let's be honest, they're not the best options that you could start this week, but I think they are your best options. You know, you kind of almost wished for Brees Hall missing this game if you're
Business,
this
yeah.
user, but Josh Downs could be the answer, but I just think it's a little bit difficult to rely on with them getting Pittman more involved and Anthony Richardson and his woes, and also a matchup versus Denver.
Denver, exactly. So it
It's
is a
just too
tough one.
messy.
It definitely is a tough one there. So I appreciate you, Doghouse. The next question here is D Merckx, 1993. Shout out to 1993 babies. At the quarterback position, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels. You're gonna go Jalen Hurts there. You let me know if that's different for you.
I don't think so, but I just need to double check matchups.
Hurts plays the Steelers.
I actually am probably leaning Daniels there.
Daniels. Okay.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because it's a smash matchup for Jaden. They're both great options. You know, that just gives them the slight edge. There's no George Pickens. I just don't know how much they're gonna need to throw the ball. But you know, I could be overthinking this. I could be trying to gigabrain it because no, honestly, I think Daniels is the right option. I mean, if you look at the last 4 weeks, it's not like Jalen Hurts has been blowing people away in fantasy football.
No,
I don't think they need to throw it.
I
So
think I think for me is that is safety. I think what we've seen is that my guy is still getting those touchdowns in
yeah,
at the goal line. Not saying that's not going to happen, and especially with AJ Brown complaining this week, does that then turn him around to say, okay, let's get the ball to AJ Brown, and in a lot of big chunk plays, maybe a couple touchdowns. Obviously, that's a big ask, but Jay Daniels just has a favorable matchup, which I understand where Zach is coming from. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts. Zach's gonna go Jaden Daniels. I'll put Jaden Daniels on here.
by the way, Pittsburgh is the second worst matchup for quarterbacks. They give them about 12 points per game. So with them both being fantastic options, having pretty high upsides and safe floors, I just think I lean the guy with the matchup that intrigues me a bit more. But
Sure.
you're right; it could totally be Hurts. But I'm gonna lean that way. Herindo had a pretty decent night. Like it was a, what 11, 12 point game despite terrible offense all around. So
Yeah.
that was good to see. At wide receiver, you've got London, Shakir. I think you've got to start London.
I agree.
At the flex spot, well, I think that's Brees Hall at the flex spot, personally.
Yeah, I think it is as well. I think it just depends on what you need. Safe floor, high upside. I think Brees Hall right now kind of feels like the safe floor, but Shakira, I think is very interesting because of what he did last game and how he was utilized. Once again, now, if I'm not mistaken, Keon Coleman coming back, Dalton Kincaid coming back. That wasn't with them against the Rams that last week. They're playing against the Lions this week. I think I still want to be part of that matchup in some way, somehow. Just saying, Brees. I'm still going Brees Hall, but he is a safer floor right now. But the matchup is favorable. But if you don't feel comfortable, I think Shakira might just give you that extra oomph this week if need be. But
I'll just say this: like you getting into the playoffs and then starting Brees Hall, who hasn't been so hot, you have to decide if you're just willing to put him in there based off of, you know, the last couple of years of him being great for fantasy football. I know it's not been great so far, but the thing is you have to be willing to let it ride, or if you're not willing, then you have to look at your other options. I am willing to let it ride. I'm willing to kind of just, hey, if he busts, then okay, but the matchup is great. Like, look, if they were facing the Chiefs and Brees Hall was playing, it's like, well, that's the worst matchup you can think of. Let's look at other options. But this is one of the better matchups. You have to believe that they want him to get some confidence to end the season as well. Like, Brees Hall is going to be a big part of what they do moving forward. So I think they want him to feel good about the offseason too. So yeah, it's you got to be willing to ride with that. And if you're not willing to ride with it and just whatever happens happens because it's a great matchup, then I get it. You can play the safety route somewhere else, but I like the matchup. That's where I'm going. I'm letting him kind of decide my future this week.
Okay, so Brees Hall in that flex option there. I do believe we might have some more questions on the site. See,
Yeah,
I don't get
Jalopy.
I don't get that little refresh button that you do. Oh, here we go. It's up here.
Here you do. It's in the top left.
There we go. I finally saw it. That's why. Okay, Jalopy. Talk me out of starting Tua. Oh, you have Jaden Daniels, brother. There's no talking. We shouldn't be talking to not start Tua.
Well, in 6-point passing touchdown formats, against the Texans, I can see how that could be a huge blowout, or a huge, offensive type of game. But yeah, Jaden Daniels versus the Saints, he should have a huge day. Yeah. What you have to hope what happens with Jaden is that he doesn't have the situation where like Brian Robinson has 2 touchdowns and then, their backup running back has another. Like that could be really unfortunate, but I'm going to lean Daniels myself.
I agree. Saquon, Charbonnet, Nico, Terry, Trey McBride, and I'm going to be going Jackson Smith in J. Ooh. Oh no, going Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, Jason is the right option. And look, here's what I'll say. Like, I can't emphasize this enough, but Aki, you guys come to the stream and you ask our opinion, and we can tell you based off of matchups, based off what's happened this year, and usage, and snap share, and target share, and all this, right? But all we're doing is making the best educated guess based off of a bunch of data points. You guys are in the playoffs. You made it there. Ultimately, I really encourage you guys, if you have some feeling, like if you're like, no, I really think Tua, that matchup, I love it, then ultimately lay the life of your playoff run in your own hands. Hear our opinions, hear the rationale, but ultimately make that call, because it's like, let's say you do start Tua and you're like, I just knew it, and he does outscore him. You'll feel great about that. And then if Jaden Daniels does, not outscore him, you'll lie all the blame on us, which is fine. We can take that. But either way, what I'm trying to tell you is, with your life on the line, just make your decisions. Hear other rationale.
Just put your hand up. Just put your hand up and say, you know what, I didn't make the right decision. That's all you have to do. And
exactly.
that's what we're doing publicly to you. You know what, we didn't make the right decision, but you also have the opportunity to make the right decision, to make your decision, not the right decision, just your decision. Anyways, appreciate you. ER 4980, Jaden Daniels, Devon Achane, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Terry, K Dalton, and you have AJ Brown. You're starting.
Are we looking at the same person?
ER.
Who are you looking at?
ER 4980.
Okay, yeah.
That might be. They maybe change their username, so just look at the team. That happens to me often. And I'm like, wait, who was that?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, you can't say AJ Brown.
No, you can't say AJ Brown. Now I think the real question is, would you sit Terry for Aaron Jones? Because I think that's where it might be interesting. I
think that's a real true toss up. I really do.
So like, I think this is what I would do, and potentially start Aaron Jones, because Terry, like Zach was mentioning in the last user, was like, you would hate that he scores 3 rushing touchdowns, or the running backs all score the touchdown, and there's no passing opportunities for Terry because how bad the run defense is.
But at the same time, we see games like this all the time where you just assume, oh, it's a blowout. And then you're in the third quarter and it's 17-10 and everything's on the table. I think I still lean Terry. I think you make a great point. Aaron Jones is probably the safer floor. It's a good matchup versus the Bears. But I lean Terry. It's that narrative, like, who brought you there, right? And if you were to flex both of these guys all 15 weeks, Terry would have been the better flex the entire season, right? So... Yeah. Top 5 wide receiver this season. And, there's no Marshawn Lattimore to worry about anymore. In fact, he'll make his debut on the opposite side, which is going to be fun to watch. But, yeah, I'm just going to, again, lean on the guy who brought you there. So
yeah, which makes sense. last time Aaron Jones, just to give Aaron Jones just a little bit of light, 22 opportunities, over 100 yards and a touchdown, scored over 19 points against the Chicago in Week 12. Now they play.
I remember that.
Now they play at home in Minnesota. Obviously, weather is not going to be an issue. Is that going to be something similar? That was also, if I'm not mistaken, one of the last games. No, that wasn't the last game of. Was that when Matt Eberflus got fired, or was that before? When did he get fired?
I don't remember the exact date, but what you can do is go to DJ Moore. Go to DJ Moore, and you'll know exactly when, because it's when he starts scoring points.
Go to DJ Moore. Look at DJ Moore. You see this gap here? Matt Eberflus. You see the gap after? Not
yeah,
Matt
so it's week 12. Week 12 is,
12.
or I think it was week 11 because he started getting those targets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he got fired week 10 if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, look, I remember that Aaron Jones was my start of the week that week. It is a great matchup, no doubt about it. I don't think you can go wrong. Yeah. So it's a tough call.
It is a tough call, but appreciate you. I think.
Yeah, let's come back to YouTube, right?
I'm just gonna refresh here, see if there's anything else. All right, back to YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Now going back.
I think Dustin.
We're going back to Dustin. Okay, Dustin. Appreciate you. It says PPR, Thielen or Shakira, Bo or Winston. This will be, or Lad, Thielen or Shakira. This would be Lad if he plays. If Lad doesn't play, I'm happy to go Adam Thielen. Let me know if you agree there.
Yep.
And then
I'm on the same page as you.
I'm gonna go brother Bo as well.
Yeah, I agree. Hard to sit him. He's been so good. So
yeah, I completely
decent matchup too.
Completely agree there. Next question on the super chat here is Brandy Hill Senior. He says London or Charbonnet after flex or full PPR. That's a great question. Drake London or Zach Charbonnet.
We need to do our first poll of the chat actually, because that I think that's the most difficult question we've had this week. Let me pull the chat here. You know, what's funny, Badaki, is I don't know if you remember last week we pulled the chat. There was the only time the entire week we did this. We pulled the chat, and it was for Elijah Moore versus Devonta Smith. And I told the person who asked the question, I said, look, my rankings say Devonta Smith. And then we pulled the chat, and then he came back and blamed it on us. I said, dude, because he ended up starting Elijah Moore. I said, dude, I couldn't have given you more from your question. Not only did I give my opinion, I gave my rankings, and then we pulled the entire chat, and he still found a way to blame us for his decision. Yeah. So this is why we tell you guys, like, look, here are our opinions, here are our rationale. Make your own decision, okay? At the end of the day, you know, as crazy as it sounds, we're not that different to you guys. We just spend the majority of our time researching fantasy football, you know, like researching the game. So, but look, the chat is overwhelmingly Charbonnet.
And that's where I was gonna lean, just because I think he's needed more in this game. I'm thinking about narrative. If we think the Falcons are going to bounce back, this is a great bounce back game. Aiden O'Connell is coming back off that injury. It might be a little bit shaky. I expect the defense to kind of dominate this game against the Raiders. And if that is the case and Bijan Robinson kind of just takes over, because that's kind of what they've been doing. 26 carries in week 13, 22, and it's just been on the ground. The only way, I'm not saying the only way Drake London is relevant, but a lot of his big games comes from when they are battling to stay in the game here. And when they're up often, it's normally not that great. So
well, you could go back and look at what happened with when Mike Evans played them last week. You know, how much was Mike Evans needed? Not much.
Yeah.
You know, he had 11 points. It's a toughie, but I'll lean Sharps as well with the chat. Now, here's what I'll say. Brandy, if the call isn't right, you can come back and blame the entire community because they voted and 94% of them said Charbonnet. So, you know.
Good luck.
That's a joke.
John.
Yeah.
Start 2 running backs, Sincere, Guerrero, Tracy, Ramondre Stevenson. Well, I'm assuming you started Isaac, and then I would start Tracy because you put a check next to Isaac's
Right.
name. So
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Tracy. There.
start 3 wide receivers: DK, Elijah Moore, Calvin, Zay Flowers, Keenan Allen. Um, for
I'm
me,
gonna go. Go ahead then.
I'm gonna go DK Metcalf. I'm gonna go Calvin Ridley, and I'm going to go Keenan Allen.
Yeah, DK, Calvin,
I don't want
Keenan.
Zay Flowers
I
could have a good game because of the Giants. Secondary is terrible. Um, yeah, that's the best thing I can.
the only thing I don't know is between Zay and Keenan. That's where I'm kind of being tricked up. Do we have a
Oh,
flex spot to fill? What's going on with the screen, by
I
the way?
have I have no idea. I think my camera just might have went kaputs. But you get double Zach. That's okay.
um. So, is there a flex spot to fill here? No, there isn't. Man. Yeah, I guess
What is happening?
Keenan does seem safer. I think you can make a pretty strong case that Zay has a stronger, a higher upside. I think Keenan is probably your safer floor. It's a great matchup versus Minnesota, who you'll want to attack through the air, and they'll probably have to. So I'm gonna agree with you on that question. And then Andrews and Fryermuth, I'll go Andrews.
Okay.
This is weird seeing myself. So
Yeah, my camera is not being. My camera is not picking up right now, which is a problem.
okay, yeah. Well, it sounds like it's a great day for technology. This stream has been hilarious. All right. So let's go to Akshay next while you figure that out. He
Yep.
says questions in the chat, and he says pick one quarterback, one wide receiver. Full PPR got burned by cups, so need a lot of upside. Yeah, I feel you there, man. So one quarterback, one wide receiver. Does he mean one running back? What does he mean by one quarterback, one wide receiver, one quarterback? What is he meaning by that? Is it Akshay? Can you clarify? Do you need two quarterbacks? But he says, Jesus, my face is so big right now. Okay, there we go. Akshay say, okay, so right, so we're picking between Neighbors, Waddle, JSN, Metcalf, Kyler, Jaden, Herbert, Bucky. I am confused. Like, do you need two quarterbacks, or is it just one quarterback and one wide receiver? As far as quarterback goes, I am gonna lean Jaden Daniels. And then as far as your one wide receiver, I'm assuming you meant one flex because you put Bucky in here.
Yeah, pick
But
one.
let's
Pick one quarterback. Pick one quarterback, one wide receiver. Um. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, right. It gets a little messy there. But I think JSN would you not start Metcalf if you needed to go full upside though? Would you not just fuck it YOLO and put Metcalf in there? Am I over
I feel
reading
like
that?
I
Or
don't. I don't
Waddle?
think like he's giving me the crazy upside though. I mean, I think he's only had like 1 or 2 games over 20 points. I feel like
Yeah,
JSN
that's
is
fair.
JSN is like fuck it upside type guy. At least for me.
He's definitely safe floor, I think. Um I'm not sure neighbors isn't the answer if we're going full. Yeah, I think you have to go Jason.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough because I think you probably have a 20% chance of getting this choice right. If you have to choose one of neighbors, Waddle, Jason, Metcalf, I think you have a 20% chance of hitting this. Jason. And I don't know if we've even answered the question, but we are not getting any comment again from Akshay, so
Yeah,
we're gonna have to move on here.
nobody actually is in the chat, but hopefully he comes back. Dang shot. He says set lineup, one quarterback, PPR, two flex. Okay, Herbert or Mahomes. I'm going Herbert. At the running back position, I'm gonna start Gibbs and Monty if there's two running backs. If there's two wide receivers, you probably started Puka and AJ Brown. And at the flex, at the tight end position, I'm starting Kelsey. And with two flex options, London and Wilson. That's where I'm going.
So Wilson over Brees.
Oh, true.
And then what about Higgins? You have Wilson over Higgins? I wouldn't
Yeah,
have
okay,
Wilson
hold
over
on. I completely forgot about these other running backs here. Okay, I wouldn't go Wilson over Higgins either. So let's go Higgins over Wilson. And then at the second flex, I'm happy to go Brees Hall based off matchup.
Well, you have to choose between Higgins and Hall, right? So I think that's Higgins for me.
Well, I'm
Um,
still starting London though, but this might be a bit confusing. Hold
but
on.
you're also starting Puka and AJ Brown because this is two flex. So the lineup for me is Herbert,
Sure?
Gibbs, Monty,
Yeah?
Puka, AJ, London, Higgins. You only have two
London Higgins.
flexes,
Yeah,
and then
you're right.
at tight end, I originally would have gone in Joku, but with that hamstring, with that injury he's dealing with, I think it's a hamstring. That makes me lean Travis just to avoid the injury. I think
Agreed.
if Njoku plays and he's 100% healthy, I would definitely go Njoku over Kelsey. So if you have that feeling and you get reports that there's no limitations, I think Njoku over Kelsey. Just you have to ride that hot hand, especially with no Tillman. So again, if we get closer to reports, of when the game starts and it's nope, there's no limitations for Njoku, then I'll put him in there over Kelsey. But if they say he's limited, I think Kelsey's your answer there. You with us? I think you might be muted.
I'm muted. Yep. I completely agree. I was ready going to the next question. Fucking Alpha, Schultz, Kincaid, Smart, or Noah Gray. Look,
Wow.
I'll be honest. I'm in a position in one of our home leagues. I had Will Disley. I don't have a tight end. Now, if you told me I had Dalton Kincaid and Schultz, I'll probably start Schultz or Kincaid over them. But I just feel like in a game that might be high scoring right now, I feel like Smart is interesting. Three targets last week when Will Disley went down is not exciting. But if he's really going to take over that Will Disley role and Lad McConkey doesn't play, why wouldn't you start Smart? But that's a big hypothetical, right? We have no data behind this guy at all or
Yeah.
anything. Dalton
I'm
Kincaid
gonna
does come
lean
back with Keon though.
yeah, I'm gonna lean Kincaid just the high over under. The nature of that game. But there's like at least a potential that the Bills are behind two touchdowns, for example, and needing to throw it. So
Yep, I get that.
yeah, that's a tough one.
Michael, I think is the last super chat I can see here. He says started Cup, pick 3, Drake, Garrett, Adams, Hill, Schaubs. Gosh, dude, Cooper Cup just really fucked everyone over, didn't he? Like
I
it's
don't want to
just
talk about it. I'm
it's
still
just
upset.
where'd you have him?
The one quarterback home league,
Oh, dude, who you playing?
JB, and yeah, like Kyron gave me a safe floor. That entire game sucked ass. Like I don't
Well,
like Puka might be the only name that you were happy with.
in the one quarterback home league, I had to start. I mean, look, I didn't have to start him, but I had Debo, and I started Debo.
Yeah, I need a 50 burger from Saquon in that league.
I'm probably gonna get kicked
Um,
out of that league, honestly. Um, Start
what do we
3.
think here?
One for sure is Drake London. I
One for
think
sure, Charbonnet.
one for sure is Charbonnet, and I've been saying this. If you want high upside, I think he just gives you high upside and a safe floor at the same time. That's Devontae Adams.
Okay, look, I think that could be the right move. I'm gonna go Tyreek. There's been a lot more confidence lately in him. Um, love the matchup versus Houston. By the way, low key, yeah, Houston secondary's been pretty bad recently, which is a bit shocking to see. So I think it's a high over under. Houston right now is right like they're in Minnesota range as far as how good of a matchup they are. I think they are seventh best matchup right now for wide receivers. Tyreek's been more consistent as of late. 14 targets last game. The game before that, 9. So I'll lean Tyreek, but I think it's really close between him and Adams.
Okay. Miranda, he says need a tight end, Jawan Smart, Jake Ferguson. I'm going
Well,
Fergie here.
I assume it's a she. It's
Yeah,
Miranda.
sorry.
But you said who? Ferguson? Yeah,
Yeah, we're going Ferguson.
I think Fergie wasn't incredible last time out, but what was it, 6 targets? Is that what he got? I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Yeah, something along those lines.
he seems like a safer floor of any of these names. And with Jawan, you have to rely on a backup quarterback. With Smart, you have to rely that he is going to be involved, and it wasn't just like Disley went down; they had to use him. So that's where my heart leans. Spaceman Blue says PPR quarterback 1. Wow, I think it's Kyler for me against the Patriots. I love that matchup.
I agree.
And then 3 flex spots. This for me is going to be Evans, then Neighbors, and James Cook. So I will sit Marvin and Brian.
Yeah, I'm there with you. We completely agree on that
Nice.
one, which is great.
That is rare. So hopefully that helps, Spaceman. I don't think we have any questions to the site. I don't think we have any more super chats. So what we'll do is, you want to answer 5 at random here and call it a day?
Yeah, 5 at random. We appreciate you guys. Once again, sorry for the technical difficulties. If you've been here with us, we're going to try and get that sorted for the next stream. But thank you for being here with us in a tough technical day. All right, 5 questions at random. Yeah, that's just GG's, isn't it? Kermit.
You had a good one.
Well, honestly, what more could I have done? I did everything right. I had a good team. I mean, yeah, maybe I could have traded somebody out, but you know what was crazy? Everyone that I had, wanted them. If I would have traded Jaden Reed away, if I would have traded AJ Brown away, I'm not trading Saquon Barkley away. Anyways, fuck off.
Yeah, you had a good run. Just now it's all about not being the face on the t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm believing for. Anyways, 5 questions only. And if we do get any questions on the website, we'll definitely get to that. But the first one that I can see here is, let's do Speedy.
You get to choose. Okay, yeah.
Keenan Allen or Devonta Smith? Leaning towards Allen this week, and I completely agree.
Yeah, I actually really like Keenan. Minnesota, they should be up. They're the better team. There's a chance, I guess, Chicago comes out and dominates, but I just don't see a scenario in which they don't need to throw. Love the change of offensive coordinator, and it's a great matchup for Keenan. Whereas Devonta, you kind of need a touchdown for him to have a floor. It's a rough floor without a touchdown for Devonta.
Yeah, I completely agree. We did get a question on the site. Let's just go there really fast. That's 1 out of 5. But Daniel 007 always comes in with a great Friday question, which I'm pretty sure he did miss this week. He says donuts or cookies.
You know what's weird, though? Daniel puts Friday questions in on Saturdays and Sundays.
That's true.
But donuts or cookies?
I think it really just depends, doesn't it? I think it needs to be like name brand versus donut or cookie. I think cookies are more, I could pick up and go and take it. I don't think I could pick up and go and take a donut. Like
my answer is two parts though. So you might not know this about me, guys, but I have an insane amount of dietary restrictions. So as far as currently today, what I can eat, I am gluten-free, I'm dairy-free. I try to stay away from tomato, sometimes potato. I mean, the list, it goes on and on. Certain cheeses, it's complicated. It's not fun. The older you get, the more annoying life is. But so for me today, right now, I'm going to say donuts because it's much easier to make. Like there's this place here that does these gluten-free, dairy-free donuts, and they're unreal. Like just as good as a normal donut. And cookies are tougher to find. But if before that time period where anything's on the table, I mean, the Subway cookie, the cheesecake one, what is it called? Raspberry cheesecake. You had that, Badaki?
Yep.
That is life-changing.
I don't think they
do donut
cookies
or Subway.
I don't think they do donuts. Sorry, I don't think they do cookies from Subway in America like that.
Really?
Am I wrong?
I swear they do. I swear, yeah, they definitely got those cookies.
You know why? Why I don't remember? Because when I used to get the meal, I always got the chips. I used to get a drink, a bag of chips, and a sandwich. I never got a cookie. I got to Australia,
Yeah.
they had
No,
cookies.
you
I'm
know what?
tripping.
You know what's funny is in America they let you buy a bag. So like if you liked of the dough, so if you like the strawberry or the raspberry cheesecake, you could say, hey, can I buy like a? You guys have like the 24 pack of dough, and you can buy it and take it home. But ultimately, I want to say strawberry cheesecake. But if you put a Krispy Kreme in front of my face,
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I
it's
think
over.
I think it just really depends on the context and what happens. Like, sure, give me Krispy Kreme over like a normal chocolate chip cookie, don't a cookie any day. But if you're saying
Yeah.
it just really depends. Anyways, love the question
I
there,
think
Daniel.
I think if what one more um addition here. If you throw in churro, it's game over. It's churro every day. I'll take a churro over anything else.
Right. Okay.
You go
Churro.
to Disneyland, you get a hot, fresh churro. Oh boy, it's game over. It's churro. It's churro 101
It's
for me.
churro 101. I appreciate you, Daniel. That's awesome. Love the question. Let's go to the next super chat here on not super chat, but 1 out of 5. Actually, we do have a super chat, so let's get there first, and then we'll go back to the 1 out of 5. The next super chat we do have is from Robert. He says Caleb or Richardson, Alton or
By the
Henry.
way, sorry. Did you hit submit for Daniel's question because it's still showing up? That might
Okay,
be a glitch.
no, let's do that. I did not do that. Okay, good.
Um, that's all right. So yeah, he said Caleb Richardson, Otton Henry. I'm gonna go. Ooh, wow, that's actually a really good question because Caleb's matchup is actually pretty decent. But Anthony Richardson has this ceiling but it's versus Denver.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Caleb.
That's a great question. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Caleb. Once again, last time he played Minnesota, 2 touchdowns, over 25 points. I think it's one of his highest scoring games, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, his second, tied for second highest scoring games. Actually, no, it is his second highest scoring games he has ever had so far this year. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Caleb there.
I'll throw a little wrench into the plan. I agree, Caleb, but I will say if for whatever reason Jameis Winston's out there, I might start him over both of those names. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. And then Otton Henry, um, I have more confidence in
And
Henry.
Henry,
Oddly enough, I feel
I,
like
I completely agree.
he is the more consistent player right now with Drake May.
Yeah, I completely agree there with
All
you.
right, 5 questions right. We already did one. 5 questions at random to end the stream. If you guys want to prioritize your question, you got the website and super chats. But we're gonna end it here. We're gonna go spend time with our families. But again, 5 questions at random. We've already done one. Question 2, Badaki.
Let's
Who is it?
do. I see CD, Johnu Smith or Kelsey.
Oh, that's wow.
Kelsey is playing the Browns
Wow, what a
and
question, actually.
Johnu.
How is this not Janu? I guess the reason it's not Janu is because there's a chance he disappears. We saw that last week. But these 2 games, Chiefs, Browns, the Chiefs should have it in hand. I don't know how much Kelsey's needed. But Texans, Dolphins, I don't know, dude. I think Janu is clearly the higher upside play. But I think Kelsey's your safer floor. So looking across your matchup, are you projected to win by a lot? Kelsey. Is it you're an underdog and you started Cup on Thursday night? Johnny Smith.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
how I would rock with this one.
I would go Johnu Smith just because he gets more design passes. I think they want to use him. Obviously, you saw that late in the game last week, but just give me Johnu Smith because they've been trying to get opportunities to other
Do
people
we
as
owe
well.
Arthur Smith an apology? I don't know. Maybe.
All right, that's 2 out of 5. Let's go with gosh, this is difficult. Okay, Miguel. Full PPR start one. Shakira, Thielen, Myers. I think this one's pretty easy. This will be Thielen for the both of us.
Yes. I want to say Myers if Aiden O'Connell starts, but yeah, if he doesn't, then I'm gonna agree with you.
Okay, that is question 3 out of 5. We did get a super chat. We did get 2 super chats actually. Jay, full PPR, DJ Moore, Jerry Judy, Adam Thielen. Assuming we need to pick one, I'm gonna go DJ Moore. If I had to pick one. Okay. Sorry, Brooklyn's having
Yeah,
the time of his life.
that's okay. I'm gonna agree with you there. That's tough because I honestly, Jay, I could see that going any like. There's 5 great options there, but I think DJ Moore is where I would lean. Last time he played the Vikings, he had his best day of the year, I believe. But man, Judy could easily be the answer, as well as Thielen. They both are great plays. I'm just gonna lean DJ. Arian is next.
Well, JT or White then. That's the next
Oh, I thought
question.
that was like you pick one of all the names, but yeah, okay. So JT or White is. I mean, I need to double check if Bucky's playing. Do we know that yet?
I think he is questionable.
Questionable. Yeah.
If he
If Bucky's not playing, it's Rashad.
yeah, exactly.
But if Bucky's playing, I think you lean JT.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right.
And the good news is Denver's like technically not a terrible matchup against running backs. It's not good against receivers, but against running backs, it's not terrible.
I agree. Adrian, right? Next super chat here. Sharps, Monty, Chase, 2. I'm assuming pick 2. I face Goff and Gibbs. So if you're picking 2, you're gonna start Sharps and Jamar Chase. Or is that Chase Brown?
What if that's Chase Brown? I still think Brown is a must start.
Yeah. I'm gonna
go.
Yeah, I struggle to sit Monty as well. He's facing Goff and Gibbs. I'm gonna go Sharps and Chase if that's Chase Brown. Or
either way, if it's Jamar Chase or Chase Brown, I agree with you. It's tough to say at Monty, but
yeah, I would just say this: if you are concerned in any way, if there's like a remote saying like, oh, I don't like how Sharps got used last week, but he's playing the Packers, that might be a tougher matchup. I wouldn't be upset if you start Monty and Chase Brown. You just know there's going to be guaranteed touches there. Not saying there's no guaranteed touches with Zach Charbonnet, but what if they just abandon the run game?
Well, he'll be used for the air. That's the good part about him. But look, I think you make a good point. Like Montgomery is safer floor of Charbonnet, but I think Charbonnet retains an upside that Monty doesn't have in this week. So, yeah, that's a real tough one. Tyler Sperry, another super chat. Reed or Myers, and I think if Aiden O'Connell's playing, I'm going Myers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jaden Reed there, but I can understand why you're going Myers.
Myers has just been more consistent, so
which makes sense.
It's a tough one though. All right, we have 2 more free questions left to end the stream.
I see Bandy, James Conner, or Brian Robinson.
Wow, I'm a lean Conner.
I agree.
I'm a lean Conner, but that's a close one. I don't have any concerns about another running back coming in and stealing touchdowns. We've seen Washington kind of spread the wealth, if you will. That doesn't really happen with Connor's backfield, so.
Okay, and I'm just going to scroll all the way up here and see if we can find somebody.
I like Nick Naylor because it reminds me of Jalen Naylor, and in that draft cycle, we always said, "What does Jalen do?" And we'd say Naylor.
Nick Naylor, pick 2.
What does Nick do?
Naylor.
All right, so let's pick 2. Cook, Amari, DK. I think it's Cook and DK.
I agree. James Cook and DK Metcalf.
And that ends the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. We will be answering questions all the way up until kickoff on the Flock Fantasy website. So if you do have a last minute question that you just need an answer to, you can find us over there. I'll put the link in the chat one more time. And outside of that, good luck. And just wish you guys the best of luck. And just one more, honor as we in the stream.
I'm not
today.
wearing a t-shirt. I think if I go from being 5-2 to wearing a t-shirt at the end of the season, it's like I actually have the worst luck possible.
Yeah. That is the historically bad fall off.
Yeah, It's terrible. And I have Saquon too. Fuck me. Anyways,
crazy.
appreciate you guys. We will be live on Monday night. Or Monday before the game, the Monday night game. So come through. That will be on our Dynasty channel. We're going to be answering a couple of the Dynasty team reviews that we have over there. And if I'm not mistaken, we might be doing our first rookie mock draft,
Jim.
first rookie mock draft 2025 in the Dynasty, on the Dynasty channel. So stay tuned for that. But we appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you go subscribe to the Dynasty channel. And all love.